What is going on, everybody? It was my 20th birthday yesterday, so obviously I had a whole bunch of family over. We were all eating dinner and sharing stories about, what I have done in the past and stuff like that. The usual birthday stuff. And my little brother brought up something that I thought was hilarious because I completely forgot about it. This is the time of we destroyed a kid's snow fort that he has spent hours on it the most unintentional way possible. It was hilarious. So I just figured I'd have to share it with you guys of us just destroying this behemoth of a fort and having no idea that we did it until later on. So obviously this was during a winter time. I can't exactly remember when, but to set the scene a little bit. A couple years ago, my grandparents, it was actually a long time ago now, probably 10 years ago at this point, my grandparents moved into this condos, and there was this kid next door. His name, what will we call him? We'll call him Bill. Bill lived next door, and he came over. He was a few years younger than me, and I think he was the same age as my little brother. I don't remember, but he saw that there's actually kids over and everything, and he wanted to come over and say hi. Well, he was an off kid. I mean, like he legit had, you could tell, not trying to say this the nicest way possible, that, you can just tell some people have issues, socially and everything, which this kid was definitely one of them. And it especially didn't help how his parents were recluse and never stepped outside unless they absolutely had to, so he had no friends, nothing. So he was so excited to have people over next door, and then he started crying the day that my grandparents moved in, and he realized that it was my grandparents moving in, not us. It's like we lived in Iowa when they lived in Illinois. But we lived close enough to where we would visit a lot. So, yeah, that's kind of the backstory building up to it. So it's been about a few years since, we've known each other and moved in, and every time we were there, he'd ask us to come play outside. I mean, like, we were playing outside because also keep in mind I was like I think 10 or 11, something like that. I was very young when this happened, but he'd asked us to come play outside, and I think I was actually probably 13, something like that. And we were just over at my grandpa's for something, hanging out with him for the day while mom and dad were at work during summer or whatever. So I couldn't tell you, I can't remember, but we had a big snowstorm the night before. I mean, like, this one was pretty awesome. I mean, it was, I think, I can't even remember how full or how tall the snow was. I mean, it was massive. I'd say we got at least 3 feet of snow in one night. And so he had spent the whole night previously building up this snow fort. Well, he had to go somewhere because he was in a different school district than we were. So we were on break and he wasn't. So he had to go to school. Well, we went out with my grandpa somewhere. And there was this huge pile of snow right when we got back, right next to where my grandpa parked. And I was messing around with my little brother, and I pretty much body checked him straight into the snowbank. Because we do that all the time here. Sorry about that. I had a call from a customer. Alright, so where was I? I think I was just talking about how it was this big snow day and there's this big snow bank and I body checked my little brother into it. We do that all the time. We are having fun. Well, I do that, and then about 2 hours later, we get this knock on the door. Just like, oh, well, who's here? Oh, we open up and it's, what did I call him? Bill? Bob, something. Well, it's the kid. It's like, hey guys, you want to come out and see this awesome snow fort that I built? I spent a couple hours on it last night and everything because the plows came in and pushed all the snow into one spot. I'm like, oh, sure, yeah. And so we get on our pants and our shoes and everything and go outside, wearing our jackets. It's cold out. And we go up to it. All of a sudden he starts walking towards the giant pile of snow that I body slammed my little brother into. We kind of both stopped and looked at each other like, oh, this is not going to end well. And we're walking up to it and everything, and he goes, oh no, and he crawls in this little hole, and he can't even get halfway. He's like, it collapsed. what happened? It was so sturdy. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know, maybe the wind blew it over. And he's like, no, that wouldn't have happened. That couldn't have happened. It was so sturdy. It was awesome. He's like, oh, someone knocked it over. And me and my little brother looked at each other like, no, I think the plows came back and, knocked it over and put more snow onto it. Well, then he started crying. We felt so bad, but it's honestly hilarious because he's crying over a snow fort that he can just spend 10 minutes on and rebuild, because basically we just collapsed the tunnel and he just needed to reshape it. And, oh man, that was just hilarious. I mean, we kind of felt bad in the moment, but, now that we're looking at it, it's been about 10 years, so we can laugh at it now. And especially, that was so funny. We just, totally unintentionally just ruined that kid's fort. And he spent hours. We had no idea. I just thought it would be funny to have my little brother get chucked in some snow. And, it turns out we ruined a kid's dream fort. Well, there's a little fun story for you guys. I know it probably was a little bit more anticlimactic. Probably more funny for me than anything. Probably not so much for you guys. And all you gotta do, if you want to hear more, I got plenty of stories of this kid. He's a nice kid. We talked for a long time after my grandparents moved, and he moved to Chicago for a while. We kept in contact, so it's not like there's any hard feelings or anything like that. He was a good kid. We were decent friends, I guess. But I got plenty of stories because he was a bit strange. If you guys want to hear more, let me know in the comment section down below. And definitely leave a like if you enjoyed. And subscribe if you're ready for more.